It's travel day to Ireland. It's finally here.
Hello everyone, I'm Ariel, aka Adventure Mom, and my husband, baby, and I are super excited as we head out to travel to Ireland. This is our first international trip post-COVID, and it's also our first international trip since Ian has been born. As you can imagine, we are over the moon excited. Thank you so much for joining us on our first episode of our Ireland trip series. We just got to Charlotte Airport and we found this parking which is a little less than $10 a day, so really good price actually. You excited?
Yes!
Yeah, so we definitely did not overpack.
We have a baby.
Yeah. What?
The bus is coming.
Oh my word, that was so fast. We just got here. He's loading our stuff and then we'll put Ian in. There's the car seat in his bed.
That's light.
Yep, just alright. Hey Mama! You're on a bus? Is this your first bus? Yay! It's his first bus ever, I think.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to Ireland.
Ian, where's Ireland? Over there.
Did you get everything? Yep, you did. You got everything. So we made it through security and we just ate lunch. It is lunch, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna be so off schedule. And Ian is doing great. And I'm so happy. We ate a pouch and some chips.
I had a potbelly sandwich for the first time. It was very good.
Nice.
Now I have a Disney
Cake pop.
cake pop.
Find your toys. And your chips. You wanna yeah. You want more? You got more in the bag. So the boarding process actually went pretty smoothly for everything except our muscles. Just carrying everything.
And this one lady, so I was carrying the car seat and a bag, and the carry-on luggage. And the lady behind me helped carry or roll the luggage behind me and let me keep it at the end. So I had people helping me, and very thankful for that.
That is good. So he came on first and got everything ready, including the car seat, and then I came on second, and now Ian is already like working down to go to sleep. So he loves the buttons, and the buttons actually are on a leash and they can't like leave the console, so he can't throw it. So
That's perfect.
but he's happy. He's had a good, yeah, he's had a really good airport experience.
I'm going way in, out into the open. I'm going straight in, all in the moment. I'll go out into the open.
We made it. Good morning. We are in the most amazing hotel. This is the hotel that was picked out actually by Dayton's work, which a little more on that to come in a minute, but I should have gotten shots of it before we had time to ruin it, which we've definitely had time to do. So I'll show you the room, give you the room tour, and just know that it was super pretty and clean before Ian got his hands on it. Okay, so here's our room. And here is Ian. Hi. When you walk in, there's this little hallway. Here's the bathroom. Give you a quick tour of it, which I have our space pretty well filled, but it's actually a lot of space for like, I got a lot of like bottle cleaning stuff, so I am glad that that actually has good space. And then we have this little like open closet area, which if you ever travel with a baby or just travel by yourself, actually, I always bring tons of extra garbage bags. This one's our dirty clothes already, and I'm actually gonna get those done here at the hotel. And this garbage bag is our trash, which I like to bring one for our trash because their trashes are always so little. This is their trash, which I just have it up because Ian really likes to play with it, and that's kind of disgusting, so I put it high up. Yeah, is that your drawing pad? Go draw. And then when you come in here, here is our room, and this is what I mean. So that stuff, obviously this is beautiful, it's so unique, and it is actually a really pretty room. But we have stuff up, lined up, because that's stuff we don't want Ian to get to. There's the tissue box. Because somebody really likes to play with things. So everything on the floor level is stuff that I'm okay with him playing with. And we got a little desk here, and then we have our suitcase stand here. Normally all this like little seating area goes here, but I moved it to the side because we got Ian's tent and his crib. Last night I think we all slept, I think I slept the least, and I still slept around like 9 or 10 hours, which for being jet lagged is actually really impressive. Ian slept around 12 hours, and Dayton was close to 12 hours as well. So we may be tired from jet lag still, but we actually did a really good job yesterday staying awake and making sure to do like a reset. So let me give you a little recap of what we did, because I did not vlog much yesterday, mainly because I kept falling asleep. And it was a little hectic. I'm gonna narrate our whole story just because I don't know how much I remember to vlog, and traveling with a baby is a big deal, and that's one of the things that I want to encourage people. It's possible, and it's actually not that bad. Though I will say, if I had done this without Dayton, this trip would have been bad. So this is Ian's first international flight. The struggle was not traveling with Ian, it was traveling with Ian's stuff. So for check-in, we had one suitcase per each of us. So we checked in 2 suitcases and his bed, and then we were carrying his car seat, his stroller, and his suitcase. And then of course we were carrying like our carry-ons, which I think Dayton and I had one each. Ian actually did really good. You did so good. Mommy's so proud of you. You're so good at it. Like one adult had to be with him the whole time while the other adult was busy carrying everything. So that's why it was actually really helpful that there was 2 of us. We definitely could have done that more concisely, but I didn't want to skimp out on what we were bringing because we were gonna need it all because we're doing a road trip here in Ireland. So knowing that, I'm like, this is stuff that we're gonna actually need when we get to the other side. But obviously, if you're traveling alone with a baby to another country, especially if you are not like doing like a road trip or something like that, then you might be able to get away with doing a lot less stuff, especially if you're visiting family and they happen to have some of the stuff so you can borrow it. Stuff like that. Which leads us first to our first glitch. Our first glitch is we went through security, went super fast, and then we get through, we go have lunch. And then after lunch or during lunch, it hits me. I'm like, Dayton, where's all of Ian's toys?
So we lost this. We didn't realize we lost it, but it went through the security check-in, and this and all his toys in his backpack. Apparently I didn't pick up, but we went back and they still held it, which thankful. I'm glad they didn't throw it away, and now we have it. And as you saw, he loves it. Stressful few moments.
We were so thankful. So they were really nice about it actually. So though we like made a mess up on that, it actually ended up being fine. We went back and then we talked and joked about it, and they were just saying stuff like, you know, it's good that he has this for the flight. So that actually went really well, but there was a small panic there. That was in the Charlotte airport. And then during the flight, he did really good. I wanted him to go to sleep right off, which did not happen. So he actually watched a lot of movies, and I brought earphones for him so he could hear them. But actually, he didn't want the earphones, and he didn't even want to hear the movies. He just wanted to see the pictures. So that actually worked out really well. He eventually did fall asleep, and then when he fell asleep, he slept to the end of the trip. So it actually worked out good. It's just he didn't get as much sleep as maybe we would have wanted. The flight was about 7 hours long. So he fell asleep maybe with like 4 hours left, I think. I don't remember the exact time, but he was awake for 3 or 4 hours, and then he slept for 3 or 4 hours, if that makes sense. It was actually a really rough landing though. So this part gets a little sticky. So Ian and I had some problems with our ears, though I think mine was way worse than his, which I'm glad, because he seems to be, the moment the plane landed, he seemed fine, so nothing happened. For me, the last 30 minutes of our descent, I was like bawling, and I was like hiding my face into Dayton's shirt, and of course Dayton is trying to comfort Ian and holding Ian, and I'm just like, get me off this plane. I felt like I was being tortured alive. It was terrible. I've never had lasting issues with my ears on a plane. Like, I have had a history of ear problems, of like a lot of ear infections and stuff like that, and vertigo caused by inner ear problems. So I definitely have the background. And also last week I had like a cold or a sinus infection. So I think that was what got me so bad this time. But basically, it felt like one of my eardrums ruptured or perforated, and it filled up with liquid. So it was very painful, and then when we landed, I couldn't hear at all out of my left ear, which actually, my hearing just came back like 10 or 15 minutes ago. So it's still hurting a little bit, and it's still full of water, but I'm starting to get my hearing back. I've Googled it a lot because we weren't sure if we'd need to find like equivalent to like an urgent care in Ireland or something like that. But thankfully, everything I read, like when that happens, it's a time thing where you just kind of have to wait it out. Like a doctor's not going to be able to do anything except diagnose it. And then if it doesn't go away within 2 to 3 months, that's when they would have to do like a surgery where they put tubes in, drain your ears, stuff like that, to make sure you don't have permanent hearing loss. I think my ears are fine, and my hearing's coming back slowly, so I think we'll be good. So we land. It was a rough landing. I was crying. Ian was crying. Dayton was holding everybody together. And then we get off the flight, and we wait around on the airplane bridge because we had to get his stroller, which was gate checked. So finally we get everything. We go, and they like rush us through because we had Ian, which I was so thankful for because he was tired. We were tired, and he was a little bit weepy. So they rushed us through, which was great. We got our luggage and we left. We got our rental car. Everything was going A-okay.
We made it, and we are now picking up our rental car, which looks super nice. Hi, Bubba Haynes.
Oh,
Say, you just did your first international flight.
yeah.
I know, you also just spilt your Pringles.
No?
Say, it went really well until the very end.
I got it.
Yeah, are you excited?
Yeah.
We're just putting in the car seat and getting everything loaded up, but we have a Ford and it's a hatchback, which means we should have enough space for all of our stuff, which was actually a huge concern of ours because we packed a lot.
Kind of clip too.
Oh, they do? Yes. So yeah, so our car seat should work perfectly. Guys, you have to see this. Look, I don't know if you can see it, but it fits so perfectly, and we don't have to put anything in the back of the car. We were really nervous about that, but thankfully our car is big enough and it works good. And then we were driving away from the airport to our hotel, and all of a sudden I'm envisioning what we're gonna do at our hotel. And I think to myself, we're gonna set up his bed, and he's gonna probably need to take a nap. And all of a sudden it hits me, we didn't get his bed.
So update, I'm back to where we parked our rental car, picked it up, and parked there because we left Ian's travel bed. I grabbed the 2 baggages that I was in my brain needed, totally forgot. His bed was in the carry-on, so Ariel's currently in the airport trying to figure out how to get it. If she can't get it easily, we know multiple hotels said they have it, so we should be good with that. If not, we'll go buy one and pick one up. So, not the end of the world, just delay, and we're tired and need to get to the hotel. So, bummer, but part of travel.
and I'm thinking, how am I gonna find this? It's in departures. I'm not allowed in departures because I'm past the gate of customs. So I go in there and I stand in this extremely long line. So Ian fell asleep in the car. So Dayton was staying with Ian and he was parked out front, and this is where like the arrivals, the departures are. So I stand in this really long line, and the whole time in this line I'm thinking, I'm gonna get up there and they're gonna look at me like I'm crazy. Like, how would we know where your, kid's bed is? That's in the other department that you aren't allowed in. So I'm standing there praying, saying, God, please help us find Ian's bed, because ultimately we could have probably went shopping and found him a bed and bought him a bed. But in that moment, I'm just thinking, we are so tired. We just want to go to the hotel. Ian's crashing. We just prayed, and literally right before it was my turn to go up to speak to the person at the desk, I get a phone call from somebody in Ireland. So I answer it, and it was the airport calling me to tell me that they had our last piece of luggage, Ian's bed. I did a quick praise, and I went upstairs to where they told me. They brought me into the staff section deep into the belly of the Dublin airport, which I thought was so cool. And we had to sign some paperwork, and I got the bed. I was ushered back out of the arrivals again. And then I went and found Dayton. He was parked again. So it ended up working so good. Rookie mistake. But I can tell you it's probably not gonna happen again though, because we're gonna be thinking about it. Yesterday, Sunday, which is when we arrived, we ended up getting to our hotel sometime around 8 in the morning. Ian took a nap then. So we realized with jet lag that if we had slept all day yesterday because we were so tired, we were not gonna go to sleep on time Sunday night to start getting on track for Monday. So we did everything in our power to stay awake. So what we did is, first of all, we drove to a mall, and the reason why we went to the mall was because they had this place called the Cheeky Monkey Jungle Castle. And it's meant for kids. It is totally free. You can just bring them, and it's inside. Yesterday was a little bit rainy. So Ian played with so many kids. He had a blast. And it was a solid probably hour and a half or 2 hours in total with the mall time too, where he was not tempted to fall asleep because he was so happy and playing and stimulated with the people. So that was actually a really good way to see the culture, but also to keep Ian and us awake. After that, we came back to the hotel, and then we decided to go for a walk. So for our first day here, we've been doing a lot of things to try to keep us awake, especially Ian from jet lag, so that way tonight we actually sleep. And then tomorrow, bright and early, we have a photo shoot. So right now it's about 6 p.m. and we're trying to make it till 7 before we go to sleep, even though we are all very tired. Our way of doing that is we are gonna go walk to where we're meeting our photographer, so that way we know where to go tomorrow morning, because it's gonna be super early. So we're meeting our photographer at 7:30 a.m., but in our time, it's gonna feel like 2:30 a.m., so very early. We woke up this morning bright and early, and then we walked that walk again to see our photographer and get some pictures. Can't wait to show you them. He was amazing. If you are ever in Dublin, Ireland and want professional pictures, either contact me, I'll put his link below. His name is Tristan, and we had such a good time with him. He was so easy to work with. We got some epic family pictures, and I'm very happy by that. But that is the story of our trip and our morning. After we did photos today, Dayton went to work. We are here in Ireland for a work trip. He works for Liberty Mutual, and there's an office here in Dublin, Ireland, and another office in Belfast, Northern Ireland. So we are spending a few days here in Dublin for him to work with the team here, and then we're gonna travel up to Belfast, where we're gonna work with the team. Well, we are not going to work with the team. Dayton is gonna work with his team in Belfast for a few days, and then that's the end of his work trip. he got our trip extended a few days. So when we leave Belfast, instead of coming right back to Dublin and flying out, we're actually going to take the scenic route back.
I don't have a way of printing out a map, so I'm just going to show you here on our iPad. Very professional. But basically, we are here in Dublin right now, and we're spending a few days because of Dayton's work. We're going to travel. Oh, see, this isn't helpful because it doesn't show the Northern Ireland cities because that's part of the UK versus this is the Republic of Ireland. But we are here in Dublin. We're going to travel up right here, which is where Belfast is, and that's where the other team is that Dayton's going to be working with. When we're done with Dayton's work here in Belfast, we're gonna road trip by skipping back over to the Republic of Ireland near a town called Donegal in that area and Londonderry area. And then we're gonna travel down, we're gonna go past Sligo, we're gonna go to pass down here and all the way down to Galway. So when we travel down this way, we're actually gonna be taking a road called the Wild Atlantic Way. The Wild Atlantic Way goes on the coast. So the entire road, we are going to be seeing amazing scenery of Ireland and the Atlantic Ocean. So that's what the Wild Atlantic Way is. Technically, the Wild Atlantic Way starts here and it goes all the way down to the south. We are not going to be doing the entire way though. We are just going down here to Galway. And then if you notice, that's completely lateral from Dublin. So we're going to spend a few days here in Galway and then we're going to drive, I think it's like a 2-hour drive, and we're going to drive from Galway to Dublin.
So that is the game plan of our trip. So though it is a business trip technically for Dayton, the three of us are turning it into a little mini family road trip vacation. Definitely when the road trip comes, stay tuned for those videos because they should be really good, I hope. And hopefully we've already gotten out of our system all of our little oopsies. And we don't have any more of those, at least that's what we're praying for. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't, so that way you don't miss any of our Ireland series. So Ian, are you ready to tell them bye-bye? Say, see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.